outside the door? Yeah. The security guy over there has a radio to get it unlocked. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We need that.
Put that on the,
You just have
put
to
that on
follow
the
the little
split.
code right above the black hat and make it like you are trying to open it.
Jesse? Jesse?
You just have to have the security guys walkie-talkie the number on top of that black hat and the security can, the electronic can.
Yeah, they don't have to come back. They just radio.
It's like, it starts with a five.
It's on the one on top, not the room number. Yeah, yeah.
Well, let's do that before they're all trying to interview.
Yeah.
We can roll that. You win. What officials?
Go ahead and hand them out. They've all got unofficials.
Just got a breaking news from CBS Sports that Virginia won.
Didn't take too long, did it?
I don't think you can break a sports score. I think that's just something that happens. It's a CBS News exclusive.
I love how everything's breaking news.
Glenda Patrick.
on the field?
We can hear it.
Thank you very much.
Anytime, sir.
Well, somebody said it was some kind of rap music.
I sent him an email bitching about there had rap music playing on a loudspeaker, and we couldn't hear the music, the ESPN feed.
What'd you say?
I sent JD an email a few minutes ago bitching.
I'm gonna let that go. I'll talk to him afterwards.
So that's I'm just saying that's my fault.
I know. I got it. They'll be okay.
I figured nobody else would complain, so I might as well. When are we gonna find out who actually made the all-tournament team?
I know it's been tabulated, and I believe that actually on the field they will announce it because they'll give the awards out. And then as soon as I have it, obviously I'll announce it in here. By the time that you leave the press conference, I would expect there'll be something that's been printed and you can just have. Let me see if I can find it on Twitter.
And I don't mean to be problems.
You're not. You're good.
JD's gonna be never let him back in.
No. I know what happens, and I know what you have to do for that to occur. You haven't done that yet.
Okay, good. Let's not do that. By the way, who's actually in charge of the home run derby?
You know, it is not run by the NCAA. It's a private company, and I do not recall. NCAA doesn't have anything specifically to do with it.
Okay.
It is presented by TD Ameritrade, and I'm trying to get that for you as I talk to you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. It's a combination of TD Ameritrade and Intersports, as well as the Omaha World Herald. Those are the three presenting sponsors. Linda Patrick.
Patrick and Fowler.
I have the all tournament team. It's on Twitter, but I will read it to you. The catcher for the all tournament team is Savick of LSU. First base, Xander Wheel, Vanderbilt. Second base, Ernie Clement, Virginia.
Hey, Michelle.
Go ahead.
Can you tell if the Vandy press conference has started, or no?
Nothing has started yet, no.
Still in the dugout. They're just about leaving right now.
Okay. You'd asked who first base was. It is Xander Wheel for Vanderbilt.
Again? No, they're just gathering.
Third base is Kenny Towns for Virginia. Shortstop is Daniel Pinheiro for Virginia. The outfielders are Brian Reynolds of Vanderbilt, Bader of Florida, and Hayward of Miami. The DH is TCU's Juan Hannon. And the two pitchers are Spores and Waddell.
I didn't see the text. Oh, you're good.
They're going to print this out and bring it down to you, but the most outstanding player is Josh Spores. And Kendall Rogers.
Yeah. Of course.
Vanderbilt is on the way.
Hey Glenn, we'll see about that. Remember the girl the first day? When she asked the question, you're like, will you say your affiliation? She's like, we'll see about that. TCU girl?
I remember her. Yeah, I remember her.
Thank you.
You're welcome. NCAA baseball just tweeted out a graphic, if that is also helpful, that has the entire all tournament team. Okay. Joe, Vanderbilt's about to start. I'm going to turn the walkie off. Yes, please. You giving one to Kendall? Suzanne, would you take this? Representing Vanderbilt, head coach Tim Corbin, right fielder Rhett Wiseman, and shortstop Dansby Swanson. Coach, if you'd begin with an opening statement.
I think first I just want to thank the City of Omaha and the NCAA for running what is a carnival type situation that's magical for these kids, the way they celebrate them and what they do for them. I mean, even as a college student myself, it was something that I always dreamed about getting to, and now that these players have had opportunities to get here, play well, it's just a great experience. Secondly, I just really want to congratulate Virginia. I mean, I think that's first and foremost. It was a very, very gutty performance by their team, their pitching staff, to allow them to get to this point and be successful. I thought Waddell, in a lot of ways, was left for dead, but he just got himself up. In the 5th, 6th, and 7th, he turned the game around. He just went 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then when they brought Kirby out, he pitched with a lot of adrenaline, and he just shut us down. You have to give them a lot of credit. As I told the kids, you can't put it into perspective right now how I feel about our group, and I won't do that. That'll be for private time. But I don't know if we'll have another group like this again. This is going to be a tough group to replicate. So anyway, that's that.
As I open the floor to questions, please remember to silence your phones, introduce yourself and your agency. Adam?
Adam Sparks of Tennessee, and this is for Tim. Having been on both sides of this, what role do you think momentum has in this final series? Obviously, it looked like Virginia took it in the second game and held it. What place does momentum have in this?
Well, momentum has a big place in college athletics as a whole. They had it in game 2, but I wasn't really concerned. I thought the verbals by the kids after last night were right on point. I thought they were very ready to play this particular game, and they were. The first inning was huge. We got out of a huge jam ourselves, Walker did, and then we absorbed a punch and then gave one right back and put 2 runs on the board right away. Rhett's hit was big, and Xander's hit was big too, and thought we had momentum for a time, but we seemed to lose it, and they regained it. And then as we got deeper into the game and we were behind, our at-bats were probably trying to do too much. I mean, these kids are very deliberate, and they care a lot about what they're doing, and they're trying like hell to make something happen. And we just couldn't.
Kendall?
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. Red, you guys get 2 runs on Waddell early, and it kind of looks like you kind of have him on the ropes a little bit. What was he kind of able to do to keep you guys off balance kind of the rest of his outing?
I thought he did a pretty good job keeping the ball in the outer half of the plate, and a lot of his misses were out, more so than over the middle of the plate. It's just one of those days where we hit some balls hard right at guys. I feel like that's been kind of a reoccurrence for these past 2 days. We've had a lot of quality at bats, taken a lot of really good swings. I mean, on the whole, we have nothing to hang our heads about. We'll walk out of here with our heads as high as ever.
Van Liner, the Vanderbilt Hustler. Red, did you see anything differently in the first inning that allowed you guys to get on the board early?
I'm sorry?
Did you see anything differently out of Waddell early compared to later in the game?
No, I mean, it's just about stringing quality at-bats together, and we did a better job of that early in the first inning than we did in later halves of the game. Um, but as a whole, I mean, he was consistent throughout the game, and you know he was coming back on a couple days rest. I don't think he's had 5 days rest in the past month, so you got to give him credit.
Don.
This is for Dansby. There toward the end, you got called out on that check swing. Kind of threw you a little bit. What was going through your mind at that point, knowing that was be your last at bat in college baseball?
I mean, that wasn't on my mind at all. You know, we were trying to win a game, and you know, unfortunately, it didn't go in our favor. But I was just trying to battle and just trying to make something happen for the team, and you know, it didn't go our way.
We have time for 3 more questions, starting with Aaron.
Aaron Fitt, D1 Baseball. For both of you players, Dansby and Rhett, you know, Coach was saying that he doesn't know if he'll have another group like this. How do you put into words, I guess, how this team has come together, you know, over the last 2 years and all you've accomplished? I mean, I know it's hard to probably reflect on that now, but if you could try.
Dansby, could you begin for us, please? Rhett?
I'm good.
Okay.
I mean, when you're able to come together 35 strong each year and basically have 34 new best friends every year, it's a special moment, and that's what we recreate. We have a family. It's not just 35 of the players, it's 50, because we have all the staff and the coaches that put so much effort in. So it's a special thing. I've never been a part of something this amazing in my life. So just want to say thank you to everyone.
Rhett, do you have anything to add?
I think Dansby said it best. I mean, you got 30 brothers out there, and the best dad anyone could ask for right here. So it's tough.
We'll take one final question. Seeing none, I'd like to thank the Vanderbilt student athletes and Coach Corbin, and on behalf of the NCAA, congratulate them on a wonderful season. If you have individual questions, please contact Kyle Parkinson of Vanderbilt outside the room.
Yeah, just if it was a 3-man limit. Yeah.
Does anyone need a box score or the all tournament team?
I'll take the alternative. Read it out to us. Both.
I already did that once before you got here. To Jim. We'll get more. That was the only one I had, but we'll get more.
All right.
Two. Eric, you need one as well?
Yes, please. You do. Fine. Yes, in that soothing voice. Like Lou Rawls reading it to us.
Then everybody would fall asleep. And there would be no questions. What other time to mess with it? I actually might purposely start directing you here and directing her there. Alphabetical order. Representing Virginia, head coach Brian O'Connor, starting pitcher Brandon Waddell, third baseman Kenny Towns, first baseman Paven Smith, and relief pitcher Nathan Kirby. Coach, if you'd begin with an opening statement.
Well, it'll be simple. I'm just, so proud of these guys, these four guys sitting here, and all their teammates. They hung together all year, and certainly got to this postseason. And it's just amazing what a group of guys that stay together and play for each other and pick each other up and don't give up can accomplish. And certainly we're very, very proud of this championship and feel very, very fortunate. And, I said it out on the field, Vanderbilt's all class. Their team sat in that dugout for the entire presentation. And, that's certainly a classy program, and they do it right. And, we just feel fortunate that we found a way. And, Kenny Towns stepped up, and Waddell and Kirby and Smith, and so many different guys playing great defense. And certainly this is a championship that our first, and one that these guys will never forget.
We'll open the floor to questions with Don.
Don Bowen, Omaha Sun-Times. Brandon, when after the first inning, Vanderbilt knocks you for 2 runs, what did you do to kind of settle down? What did you do to get yourself back into that groove?
It's just a matter of, taking a breath, getting your mind right, kind of simplifying things. I knew what I had to do, so it's a matter of going out there and executing. So I got focused back on those things. I knew 2-0 wasn't going to be the final score. I knew our offense was going to score, and they're going to put up some runs. So at that point, it's a matter of trying to keep them to 2, keeping our team in the ball game as long as I could.
Kendall.
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. Brian, kind of going off the question about Brandon, I guess what was kind of going through your mind in that first inning, and as you watched Brandon, kind of like Hazley last night, just go inning after inning with the zeros, just assess his performance and talk about that.
Well, first of all, coming in this game, I knew that we'd get his best. How he's pitched in this championship 2 years in a row is pretty special and doesn't really happen. And so I knew he was going to give us everything he had. Certainly the first inning, you could tell that he was up in the zone, and they did a nice job of executing and getting the hits that it took to score a couple runs. And he made an adjustment. He made an adjustment immediately in the second inning to get the ball down in the zone, and he went back to doing what he's done since he's been here, and changing speeds and locating the ball. And I was just amazed that he was able to give us 7 innings. And but that was it. He had done his job. He had done everything that he can do, and certainly he'll go down as one of the great ones that's ever pitched in this program, and as big a game pitcher as you get.
Jeff.
Jeff White, VirginiaSports.com. Kenny, what was the effect in the dugout on the team of Pavin's home run? To go from down 2-0 to suddenly tied.
Him with that big swing. It gets a lot of energy in the dugout too. You tie the ball game up and you get some momentum. We got some other guys on base that inning. We didn't score again, but it just kind of got the team up, got our spirits up a little bit, and we were able to put some good quality innings together after that.
Aaron.
Aaron Fitt with D1 Baseball. Nathan, it seemed like they had a lot of trouble with your slider here today. What was different for you today versus a couple of days ago? Did you feel like you had a lot better feel for that pitch in particular?
A couple of days ago, I felt like I was learning to ride a bike again, especially being out here in front of as big a crowd as we had, and as great a team as Florida was. But tonight, it's starting and coming in relief for 2 different things, and I knew that this was the last 6 outs of the season, and I was going to go out and give it everything I had.
Greg.
Greg Eklund, and this is for NPR, for Brian. Can you put into perspective what teams like North Carolina, Georgia Tech, all ACC schools that tried to win this championship, but for the first time in 60 years, Virginia has done it in the ACC?
Well, I knew that question was coming, certainly, because a lot's been made of it. And it's amazing the text messages I received over the last couple of days from other coaches in our league, rooting us on. But we've never discussed in our program about one league against another, or us trying to so-called as a league getting over this hump and winning a national championship. There's great programs in our league. You mentioned a couple, and there's many, many more that have been here and been in this position and could have very easily done what we did. And there'll be many more, after us. And our conference is a year in and year out is an outstanding conference with great coaches and great players and committed administrations. And, I think you'll see more teams up here out of our league sitting on here with a national championship trophy. And, I'm proud that we did it.
Eric.
Eric Sorensen, College Baseball Today, D1Baseball.com, and ESPN.com. Coach, this is for you. I remember seeing you pitch at Southwest Missouri State in 1992 and having the Harley T-shirt underneath your jersey and all that. Mm-hmm. Just thinking back to those days, did you ever dream that you would be coaching, or was that a goal of yours to win a national championship way back then? Did you think about coaching and what it would be like to be in where you're at now? Was that always kind of your dream?
I wish I still had that T-shirt, but no. I'll tell you, I've been really, really fortunate to be around a couple of really great leaders and men, and I knew when I was in college, and I was around my college coach, Jim Hendry, the coach at Creighton, and the impact that he made on me. I knew that this is what I wanted to do. Never thought of winning a national championship. Just thought of trying to put together the best program you can possibly put together and give guys like these guys sitting up here a great experience for them to be able to develop their talents and enjoy being around each other. And I never thought about winning a title. Never really got consumed with it, and just tried to do over the years to make the right decisions, by the players. But I knew in college that this is what I wanted to do, and that's because of Jim Hendry.
Jim.
Jim Schoner, Baseball America. Kenny, if you could just, what will you remember most about what this coaching staff has done for you guys this year, the way they've held you guys together through all these ups and downs? Just what stands out to you the most about what they did for this team?
I mean, obviously they've done a lot for us this year, but the one thing that Coach O'Connor and the other coaches just kept preaching to us is you just got to grind through it. We had a lot of ups and downs, as you mentioned, during this year, but they didn't expect less out of us because of it. They always kept those expectations high on us, and just told us to grind it out. And I think going through those ups and downs, we're able to kind of become a tougher team and a more resilient team, and I think that showed for us in this postseason. And obviously, it started from the coaches kind of passing that down to us.
Jeff.
Paven, the wind at this park has been dramatically different sometimes from day to day. The way it was blowing today, did you have a feeling when you got up that if you got a good piece of it, it might go out?
No, I wasn't really thinking trying to hit a home run. I was just trying to get on base, try to extend the inning, try to keep the rally going. And when I hit it, I knew the wind was blowing out, and I was just like telling it to go.
Jim.
Jim Callis from MLB.com for Nathan. First, just a factual question. Were all 5 of your strikeouts on sliders? And then secondly, when you went out with the lat strain, did you ever fear that you might not be able to pitch again this season? And could you just describe the emotions you felt when you were first sidelined to, you come back and you close out the national championship game?
I believe they were. I can't remember. It went really quickly, but when I came out that game, I didn't think it was going to be serious because I turned around and I was still throwing strikes and still throwing my normal speed. But the doc came back and said it would be 6 to 8 weeks, and I talked to the coaches and to the trainer, and they were all very supportive. But it is what it is. It's baseball. It's what we sign up for. But if they told me that if we were here and 6 to 8 weeks later that I would have a chance, and I told them I'd be ready.
We'll take 3 more questions, starting with Jeff.
Brian, I remember talking to you after Brian Boland won his first NCAA championship, and you said that you had felt it would happen for him eventually, and you had told him that. Did you feel the same thing for yourself, that if you kept knocking and getting back to Omaha, that eventually you would break through?
Well, Jeff, we've talked a lot as coaches in this program to the players, amongst all of us, about consistency. Give yourself a chance every year to play in the NCAA tournament, and if you do that every year, then you got a chance to move forward and things. I remember those conversations that our tennis coach, Brian Boland, and I had. We were next door neighbors, and actually learned a lot from him. Getting to the national championship and not winning it, and then finding a way. And so those conversations to me personally were very valuable, and I think those lessons that you learn as a coach, you are able to mold how you're going to handle your team when you get to this situation. And these guys couldn't have handled it better.
Aaron.
Aaron Fitt, D1 Baseball. For the players who were here last year, when you think back to sitting in that dugout and watching Vanderbilt celebrate on the field in front of you and kind of contrast it to where you are right now, does it make it sweeter, do you think?
Brandon, can you begin for us?
I can picture, that exact thing happening, and I pictured it for a while after it did happen. It's something that's tough, and it takes a while to get over. But at some point, you got to go back to work. You got to kind of delete it, take the experience and the lessons learned, and go out and try and get back the next year. So we worked really hard in the off season. We tried basically everything, came together as a team. And to have the opportunity to get back, I'm not going to say it makes it sweeter, but it's just, you know what the other side is like. So it's just a matter of going out there and trying to flip that around and using that experience and the lessons you learned to, be successful in the same stage.
Nathan, anything to add?
I think last year it was sad to see the guys that had put 3 years and 4 years before us go. And I think the thing that was really gratifying to me was knowing that we were playing not only for the the guys on the team and the coaching staff and the fans, but for everyone that's walked between the lines before us in this program. And I think that was probably the most gratifying thing, is knowing that all our hard work and all their hard work has paid off, because they've passed down a lot of what we've learned and a lot of what the experiences the coaches have had and gone through have taught us. So I think that was probably the most gratifying thing.
Kenny?
I don't think anything can make a national title sweeter, but it was just nice to be able to get done with this group of guys. Obviously, there's been a lot of guys who've been in this. I mean, last year guys were in this position to win a national championship, and it didn't go our way. But just being able to get another crack at it this year, and it just kind of coincidence it happened to be against Vanderbilt. But it's just incredible to be able to get it done this year.
And our final question from Don.
Coach Don Bowen, Omaha Sun-Times. Going into the regional tournament as a lower seed, how did you get your team kind of motivated, and did you imagine yourself being at the College World Series and get a back-to-back championship, a back-to-back title match with Vanderbilt?
No, but I've never thought that way. I've never tried to predict the future and coach your team by predicting the future. I and the other coaches know what these guys that wear our uniform are made of. We were confident that they weren't going to go away and they weren't going to stop fighting. And, we certainly found a way to get ourselves in the NCAA tournament. And, we talked a lot about it as a team, about, just having the opportunity to compete again. They earned this right, and just tried to simplify it as much as possible, because I think if you think about it, a big thing like trying to get to Omaha and trying to win a national championship, it's just way too much. This game is just incredibly hard to play, and if you put those kind of pressures on you, it's tough. And hey, not many people thought that this could happen. I think my brother told me this afternoon the odds in Vegas today were at 310 to 1 that we'd win this thing. So, I don't know. I just proud of these guys that they just hung in there, and it's an unbelievable example to people that if you stay together as a group, if you got a group of guys that work hard and a group of guys that really love each other and care about each other and are passionate about what they're trying to accomplish and just fight and won't go away. Certainly you need some breaks, and we had breaks in Omaha. But I'm proud of them and couldn't have forecasted it, but we're darn glad we're sitting up here with this trophy.
On behalf of the NCAA, I'd like to congratulate Virginia winning the 2015 College World Series. Thank the student athletes as well as Coach O'Connor for joining us. For individual interviews, please coordinate with Andrew outside the room.